So cool.
Welcome to Boys and Brunch. This is the show where we expose everything going down on the timeline. And speaking of the timeline, ours is broken up into chapters. So if you're watching this on replay, jump straight to the story that you want to hear. Today, we're talking about Kirk Franklin. Sorry, let me turn my mic down just a tiny bit. It looks like it's okay. They were talking about Kirk Franklin speaking out against homophobia in the church, talking about Justin Timberlake's apology to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson. We are going to get into the conclusion of the Gorilla Glue Girl saga, and we're going to end off talking about cyber cheating. I'm Jarrod D. King. I am joined by my co-hosts, Brandon Harris Williams and Marcus Haynes. Hello, guys. We are
Hello.
also joined by a special guest host who's a YouTube vlogger, a podcaster, and a content creator, Andrea Mandovi. Hello.
Hey
I hope I
y'all.
said your name right.
You
Is it
did. You
Andrea?
did.
Okay, good. All right. So, Andrea, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you do?
Um. Okay. Well, I am a YouTuber. I started YouTubing back in 2013 just to document my transition and everything, and then it just spurred out of that into talking about hot topics and stuff going on that I was experiencing. And then after that, I decided to create a podcast with my siblings called Tipping with Siblings. So that's a little bit about myself.
Okay, I love it. I love it. So, how has your journey been as far as podcasting and everything? How's that been?
It's been kind of difficult, but it's been also really good as far as like getting through all the technical difficulties I've had trouble with, being used to doing the whole podcasting thing. But as far as the content's always there.
Yeah. I've seen some of the content, so it's definitely something to watch. So I want everybody to go give Andrea a subscribe on YouTube and check out her podcast and everything. I want to say hello to Connected, Focused. I see you guys in the chat. Andrea, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking me some sweet pixel. Oh yes,
Yes.
Okay,
it was
Okay.
very
three for
nice.
10.
Nice.
There you go. I ended up getting a big bottle of something yesterday too, because I'm like, I don't feel like going out next week to get another bottle of anything. Let me just have it here. So Marcus, let me come to you. What's been going on with you? Give us a quick update.
Stress.
Oh
Oh,
no.
Oh Lord. I actually am probably gonna be like as soon as this is over, I'm gonna go back to writing because I have a chapter due tomorrow and yay. So much
Mm,
fun.
goodness.
But yeah, so that's really been like my main focus. So I'm not even really gonna be like drinking real heavy today because I got work to do. But I still showed up to be happy and enjoy the brunch. I put on my Valentine's colors and all these things.
I love it.
Absolutely. Um, so what are you drinking today?
So, like I said, I'm not even. I was originally going to have some dark liquor, but no. So I just end up just going back to just a regular mimosa, drinking the last of this.
Okay. Good. All right. Well, maybe we get into some of these topics. You might want to break out that brown liquor anyway.
That may happen. Listen.
We'll have to see. Brandon, what's going on with you?
Um, Nothing. I did not want to get out of my bed today. I just really wanted to like Sunday. I just really wanted to stay in and relax. That's about it. Busy. I'm like trying to discreetly kind of maneuver my shoulders because I'm writing and like my whiteboards are full behind me. What else is going on? I think that's about it. I think that's about
Okay.
it. I feel
All
like I'm
right.
still
And what are
waking
you
up,
drinking?
but what am I drinking? Corona Extra. Praise God.
All right. Very nice.
Yes,
Very
come on.
nice.
Put it in the wine glass. I mean, the glass like my girl Tammy Roman used to do. You know.
Right. Class it up a little, right? As far as me, I mean, my update. So I don't know if you guys watch anime. I know Marcus, you may, right? Do you watch anime?
I
Okay.
dabble.
So anyway, if y'all don't know what that is, it's Japanese animation. And I was watching this show called The Promised Neverland on Netflix.
Oh,
And it was really good. I got really into it. I kind of finished it in like 2 days. Um, but I got really disappointed at the last episode. So they had like
oh.
one. So you know how hard it is to have like black characters in anime, period.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Mm-hmm.
had one, and she was like the villain. She was like one of the villains, and she was like crazy as a bat. But I was just like, whatever. So I let that slide because she was an interesting character, whatever. And then we get to like the last episode, and I'm so fired up about this. And then there's like, I don't know, some background character who apparently has been there the whole time. And then there's, this little girl. She's a Black girl. And they called her by name and they said, "Hey, Jemima." So
Yo.
I was pissed. I was like, why y'all gonna do this to me on the last episode? Now I can't. I was so conflicted. So yeah, that was how my week started, I should say, because I think that was last Sunday.
Trash.
But yeah, and so I'm drinking a sparkling rosé.
No, you need to drink after that.
Praise, amen. I'm glad you have some liquor.
Absolutely. Look, I went out last night. I was like, I need to have something because I don't want y'all dragging me today.
Right. And I saw your tweet talking about you were already drinking it. I was like, wait, is something gonna be left for the morning? But
yes. I still have some left over. So if you guys out there to the Gorgeois, if you hear anything you like, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. We need thumbs up on the YouTube videos because if I have only 4 thumbs up and I get 1 thumbs down, then that kind of kills me in the algorithm. So I need everybody watching to give me a thumbs up. Mama Shay, hello. I see you in the chat, and we're gonna jump into this first topic. I'm gonna call this LGODBT. I don't know if you'll get that. So we're gonna talk about Kirk Franklin. Man, so I'm just gonna read this quote by Kirk Franklin. He got on a show with Clay Kane. It's posted up on YouTube. I believe it was a Sirius radio show though. So I'm just gonna read his quote and then we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation about that. So he says, quote, "We have not weaponized the Bible to cover up a lot. We have to not weaponize the Bible to cover up a lot of times our homophobic views that have nothing to do with the Bible. A lot of people that maybe profess Christianity, they have views that are not even bibliocentric. It's their personal views that they do not understand, sometimes maybe the biology of homosexuality. And so they want to find a scripture to justify their own homophobic views. You can't abuse people from a platform because that ain't love. That's not the gospel, to take a microphone and weaponize it to hurt and condemn people." So I want to go to Marcus first. I want to ask you, like, what were your feelings or thoughts when you kind of first saw this come out of Kirk Franklin?
Finally, somebody said it, because really it just boils down to folks I feel like I said something like this last week. Like, folks get in these positions, they get, these platforms, they get this power, and they just want to just preach at it. They just want to use that to be like, you know what you're doing is wrong, but everything I'm doing is fine. You're doing it wrong. And it's foolishness. And I'm glad that you have somebody who's a prominent figure who's calling them out, even though it may still kind of fall on deaf ears because the people don't like Kirk Franklin either. So
yeah. Andrea, I want to come to you. I want to ask how you're feeling about this. General views, I guess, about Kirk Franklin. We'll get into some deeper levels of this in a moment, but I guess just on the surface, how are you feeling about this?
I'm glad that he actually came out and said something. Sometimes, like, people platforms, they don't use their voice, and it's like people in the church, none of these have lived it, and tell them when they're going wrong.
Yeah, I hear you. Brandon, are you kind of echoing the same thing? Are you feeling like this is a good thing?
I think it's a good thing. I think that it's good that he speaks out. It's also not necessarily surprising because he is one of the more liberal, I guess, Christian artists, or more open. I don't know if liberal is the right word I want to use, but he's not as conservative as probably we would think. And he got a lot of backlash, like Mark was saying, with his music over the years anyway. So it's not surprising that he would be that way given how his personality is, but it's still good that he did say something given his age and his position. I just wish more people in his, the same world or in the same age group was, or I guess in gospel or in Christianity in general would say similar things. Because like you get
Mm.
this platform, but then so many are like silent. I think only maybe like him and Yolanda Adams have really come out and been. I don't necessarily want to say allies because I don't necessarily say if this is quite an ally thing right here, but just this vocal, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. I was happy to hear him say something. But I'm curious if you guys maybe had thought about like this. There's this whole thing about how we approach the church as the LGBTQ community. Um, there's sometimes criticism of us kind of staying in our I guess original churches that maybe we had grown up in that may not necessarily feel positively towards homosexuality versus moving to a more inclusive church. And I'm curious what your guys' thoughts on that are. I don't know, I guess I've just heard that, it's just silly to a lot of people that we would stay in a church that I guess, for lack of a better word, hates us. So
Yeah.
I'm curious how you feel about that. Andrea, maybe let's start with you.
Well, I'm all for moving on for a more inclusive church. I did that back home when I was actually going to church. But, it all comes to like going to new places and stuff. You always, you feel and you feel welcome. If they're not giving it to you back at your home church, then I'm all for moving somewhere else. Actually accept you and uplift you. Because we all nothing but
Yeah.
queer folks in the choirs and directing and playing the
Yeah.
tunes and stuff. Like y'all can love us for our musical taste, bring to you, but you don't value us as people.
Facts.
Right, right. Um, yeah, so I kind of feel the same way. But I mean, I guess on some level, I feel like there's a way that sometimes you can kind of take what you need from somebody, from like a preacher or a pastor or somebody. So I wonder, maybe Marcus or Brandon, if you could speak to that, like, do you sometimes have to just understand that maybe the pastor is just a human being, um, and you just kind of have to take the good and leave the bad up up on the pulpit. Maybe Brandy, you
Um,
can speak to that.
Yeah.
I think
Okay.
that's probably a lot of people, probably a lot of people's expense. I mean, because and this is the worst probably comparison, but like there's always you won't agree with 100% anything your pastor's gonna say because you're different people. So I think it's just dependent. You have to kind of decide what things are you not going to agree with or allow or not. I guess ignore in a sense. Like what is more important to you is I guess his message and everything else, or their message. I guess more important than them not affirming you in that way. But I do also think that the church in general though can be more communal in some ways than it can be even just about religion and about that fellowship with just Christian people. I think it can be like if it is your home church that you grew up in some instances, then it is also home as well. So might be why some people don't want to leave because it's where they've been for so long. I absolutely get though the need or the want to move on to better where you are affirmed and understood.
Right, right. Okay, so real quick, I'm seeing some chats here saying that we're having some technical difficulties. So I want to just do a quick mic check for everyone, or at least, let us know in the chat if you can hear us. Can you hear can you hear Andrea?
That's fine.
Just give us a yes or a no in
Can
the
y'all hear
chat.
me if I say something?
We can hear you. I can hear you. I
Yeah.
think we can hear you on the
I hear
stream.
you.
I'm
Yeah.
Is a
It was it was a little shaky at first, but this is a little bit better now.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, we can hear you, Andrea. I think you're good. I mean, I think it's just, it is what it is. It's the internet, so we kind of have to go with the flow here. Um, so connected, yeah, I think you're just gonna have to roll with us for a little bit. But of course, if this is not working for you, then you can always come back to us next week. So let's go into your personal experience. What has been your personal experience with dealing with the church, and like have you had to deal with um any kind of issues in your own church, or do you even go to church? Let's start with Marcus.
Um, so I guess I was one of those kids who I was always in the church when I was younger, like going with my grandparents and stuff. So my home church was like a big thing for me, like in middle school, high school, stuff like that. But I haven't been back now in at least 2 years. And I don't really have any intention of going back because the last time I went, it was Father's Day and decided to preach a sermon on why gay is wrong. So that is a thing that even though that is, like a space that I grew up in, space that I still know a whole lot of people in, and it's like right down the street from my house, I'm not going back. I've been to a couple of inclusive churches in like this area, and I've enjoyed those. But if I'm being honest, I'm getting to the point now where I'm really so like questioning like my need to be in the physical church building because it's just like even the inclusive church, like I guess I'm still kind of scarred from the other churches. I was like, I don't even know if I want to be in here. So it's a thing of me trying to figure out, what is my relationship with church in general.
Right. Yeah. Personally, I have not had many issues myself. I have been to a few churches where maybe the pastor had some kind of cheating scandal going on, or I had in a different church, the pastor was talking about money all the time. So it was obvious that was his only goal. But I've not had the homosexuality talk in any of the churches. So, I mean, I feel fortunate that I haven't had issues with that, but I think it's important. Personally, it's important for me to have um some kind of a connection to faith and to Christianity, to my Christianity. um so yeah, I don't know. So I think we're just gonna move into our next topic, but before we do, I'm gonna talk about the Patreon because we're doing something a little bit different. um, so I am trying to create a community. So I mean, I call y'all the Bourgeois. So, let's make it for real. So starting today, the lowest tier, with just $4 a month, you will be able to view our after show, Splitting the Bill. Um, so that's going to be starting with today's episode, and moving ahead. I've also created a Discord channel so that we can all keep in touch with each other and talk about all the topics that we're talking about on the show and maybe some more. People who may have felt, I'm doing this for people who may have felt maybe out of step with fitting in and maybe not having a group of friends, kind of like what I went through. I had talked about this, I mean, a few episodes earlier. So if you ever felt like that, join this group. We're here and we enjoy the great things in life. So I want you guys to check out the Patreon. It's a little bit new. We've got some new things going on, and we've also got the Bourgeois Brunch coming up. So I have a link to that in the description below. Just sign up to our email list. Only a few spots left. So let's move into the next topic. I'm calling this I'm Sorry 2004.
Lord.
And it actually works because
Yes.
that whole incident happened in 2004. So I was kind of surprised with myself
Whew.
for that actually working. Um, so I'm going to share this. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm going to share Justin Timberlake's apology here.
Lord.
And I'm just going to read a little bit of it.
Oh, here we go.
So he says, I am deeply sorry for the times in my life where my actions contributed to the problem, where I spoke out of turn and did not speak up. I understand that I fell short in these moments and in many others, and benefited from a system that condones misogyny and racism. I specifically want to apologize to Britney Spears and Janet Jackson, both individually, because I care for and respect these women, and I know I failed. So he has a long apology, but that's basically what he said on Instagram. Hold on, let me take this back. Okay, so Andrea, I want to start with you. I want to see you like, how are you feeling about Justin Timberlake's apology? What do you think about this?
Never cared for him to begin with, but I just watching that Framing Britney Spears documentary on Hulu, so I just, it's too little, too late for me. I'm glad he finally know what he did and all that, but girl, it's too late. Damage has been done. Everything that you said about these girls to throw them under the bus so your career can't excel, it's all been done unless you're giving out money. To help reimburse Britney Spears. Money is the best apology.
There you go. Mic drop. She left the no, I'm sure she'll be back. I'm sure she'll be back. But yeah, I kind of agree. I think, and you guys know I am I give a lot of leeway to to people who make apologies. I give a lot of leeway to people sometimes. But I think in this case, it's like you had so long to say this. And part of my issue is it's not necessarily because you listened to Black people telling you that this was a problem. You said this because of a response to Britney Spears' issue. So I have a little bit of an issue with that as well. It's like you had so long. So I don't know. I want you guys to jump in. Like, Brandon, what are you thinking about this?
So now I'm curious because I guess I didn't pay that much attention. So he's only apologizing because the Britney Spears doc came out and everybody's on him about that. Is that what it is?
Yes.
That's what it seems like because there was some stuff that came up in the Britney Spears doc that he did, and now people are going after him because of that, because of the whole like free Britney movement and all that type of stuff. But he just, I hate to say it like this, but he kind of just squoze Janet in there too. Just kind of do an overall apology, but it wasn't really motivated by her.
Yeah. I mean, so maybe I don't know, maybe he doesn't feel like he's doing anything wrong. I guess my thing is like always with these delayed apologies. I know a lot of times we get, or when we try to cancel people for stuff that's happened a long time ago, I think this is almost the reverse to an extent of that, where it's like he did something bad. A lot of people stopped fucking with him then, but he still continued to thrive and do whatever else. So yeah, I think like Andrea said, I don't know what an apology does now. I mean, I guess it's great that you acknowledged it, but what are you like? What else is going to happen? Like, I guess the only thing it can be is money.
Yeah.
Because 2004, that was like they said 13 years ago.
It's been a while.
And the Britney stuff had to be older than that, right?
I don't know. I didn't watch the Britney Spears thing.
I don't know. I do want to bring up Focus chat here. He says these events are basically almost old enough to graduate high school. They happened in 2004. It's like, why so long? Why did this take so long? Now, Marcus,
go
ahead.
I was gonna say he probably didn't think he did anything wrong, which is, I think, like somewhere in his apology kind of said that like men with power, white men with power, it's just how you go. So that doesn't excuse anything, but I think he probably genuinely did not think anything was wrong or messed up, probably until recently.
Right. So Marcus, you brought up a tweet in our DMs, in our host DMs, and I was just curious if you could address what was said. And do you have it on you? Because I do. If you don't,
no, I don't.
Receipts.
I don't.
Okay, so let me just pull up what was said.
I forgot what was said. Remind me.
Look, remind me what was said, because a lot of things have been said.
Wait, what did I do with it? Hold up.
See. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I don't know what I'm looking for, but I'll see if I can.
Yeah, I must say, I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about. You talking about the interview?
No, it wasn't the interview. It was some guy saying that something about Janet Jackson Appreciation Day and people being
Oh,
woke
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So what was the gist of that? If you can just give that to us.
Oh, I
So
think I found it. Was it the woke tweet or no?
Yeah.
I found
yes,
it. Did you want me to say it or no?
go
Sorry.
ahead.
It
Sure.
was
I
the
mean, I know
first
it's a
tweet.
long tweet, so if you can just
It was
give
the
us a quick.
first. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't know about. Let me read it because I don't paraphrase and let's quote the people. So I just have a problem with Black Twitter all of a sudden being woke regarding this Justin and Janet situation. Y'all were the same ones in 2013, standing for Justin Timberlake's music while continuing to forget Janet even existed at all. Basically saying it's just fake and performative that we have Janet appreciation hashtags. It's just rooting in hatred for Justin than it is love for Janet. True Janet fans just appreciate her all year round. So yeah.
Right. Okay. So Marcus, your response to that?
So here's the thing. Even if this is just like, fuck Justin. So like clearly he's done enough. Clearly he's done enough to deserve that treatment. I do. Well, let me back up. I don't think that that's what this is. I do think that there are people who are legitimately using this to celebrate Janet because her last name is Jackson. Come on, man. Like, I do feel like that it is really uplifting to Janet. It just so happened that it came about in a way and at a time where everybody is like against Justin. And I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that because, like we brought up here, he did all these things, not just to Janet, and probably not even just to Britney too.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been able to kind of like skate by on it. So yeah, it's like fuck him, but also it's like uplift the people who do the thing. I mean, who he has harmed along the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I get what I get the bandwagoning thing that he's trying
mm-hmm,
to say in this. But I do think there were a lot of genuine Janet Jackson fans
mm-hmm,
who were using that and just kind of
Yes.
uplifting her. So I don't
absolutely.
think it necessarily went that far. Um, but yeah, it's a crazy situation.
Yeah, but
um,
I think he kind of has a point though, because I can't remember. Because I guess because Justin has performed at the Super Bowl since then, right? I think that's what he said in the tweet that he's
Has
performed in
he?
like
Maybe he.
2018 or
Oh, I think he
something.
did actually.
Did
I
he?
think he did. And
So
it
I can't
was
remember.
it
But go
was
ahead.
when I think it was when the crowd was like really dead, and he was just kind of like dancing in the stands.
Maybe so, but I do know though, if I remember correctly though, Jan Appreciation Day did start like on the day of the Super Bowl in response to something he did or whatever. It was tied into that whole her not being remembered correctly or not being honored. So that's what it was. Now she definitely deserves the respect. She's definitely a legend, deserves to be honored, uplifted. But I think he has a point though. It did come from like let's honor her because she was wronged
Hmm.
versus let's just honor her because she's deserving. You know?
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Um,
but I don't know. Like, I just part of me kind of feels like that's how things go a lot of times. Like, yes, there are people who we need to be giving them their respect and their props regardless. But a lot of times we don't do that until we see that they're not getting what they should be getting. Like it's a lot of this is the idea behind a lot of like black like award shows things of that sort. They do this because they're not getting the highlight from quote unquote mainstream, even though they
Hmm.
should be getting the highlight anyway. But we do it more as a reaction than being proactive. And I think
Yeah.
that that's just how it goes, I guess.
yeah. So I do want to bring up. I think part of that tweet, at least, I believe. Correct me if
Hmm.
I'm wrong, Brandon. Was that we've been jamming to Justin Timberlake ever since, but now all of a sudden we want to just jump on the
Yeah.
hate Justin Timberlake train. So I want to talk about that. Like, have you guys? I mean, I feel like he's put out some bangers since, and we have kind of been jamming to. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, I personally was still a Justin Timberlake fan. I wasn't like, I wouldn't call myself a stan, but I think he had some good songs. And so I'm curious what you guys think about that. Like, is this a moment for separating the artist from the art, or how do you feel about that? Do you think that's a little bit
Um,
hypocritical for people to kind of like Justin Timberlake's music and then
Okay. So I think if I remember right, part of the tweet was like, y'all was rocking out with Justin Timberlake like years and years ago, and people
Hmm.
had to bring up, and I said the same thing, like we was like 10, we were like kids when like a lot of us were like rocking to Justin Timberlake. Like I used to
Hmm.
love what was this song? Some song that he had with Ti, which Ti is a whole nother situation, but I used to love like that song he had with him and his song with Beyonce, but
Hmm.
again, I was a teenager. Like I didn't
Yeah.
know, and most of us didn't know any better, to be honest. So you can't hold people fault for stuff they liked back then. And now, I mean, I haven't been rocking his music for real, but from what I've heard, it ain't really all that good to, to push these people to the side for. Yeah, it's probably a better example of separating the art from the artist than somebody like R. Kelly or somebody. But still, music ain't good enough to be have to go through all the mental gymnastics.
Yeah, I think we also need to look at it like in context. Like this whole Janet situation happened in 2004, so most of his fan base was young. I don't think that he necessarily shared a fan base of adults with Janet at that time. So I think most of us, like at least for me, for myself, I didn't necessarily view it in a way of him wronging her. I don't even think I knew about all the backlash that her career had suffered and everything else until a few years ago on Twitter. Honestly, just I've never been super into Janet. Love her and appreciate her as a legend, but I was never like a stan of her either.
Right.
So like I get like what Marcus is saying. Like if he's still on the radio, then I mean, okay, we're gonna listen to it, cool. But I don't think that we've been like hardcore Justin fans either. Because me personally, I feel like he kind of like, what is the word I want to use? I do feel like he has an appreciation for black music, but some of it is a bit pandering because he knows that what we enjoy to an extent. So I kind of side eye him for that as well, you know? So
Mm.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Well, look, go ahead, Marcus. You got something to say?
Oh no, I was just agreeing.
Oh, okay. I thought he had something on his mind.
I was just aiming for.
All right. So it looks like we lost Andrea. But I'm waiting to see. I sent her a text. We're gonna see if we can get her back into the room, but we're gonna move on. So I'm tired of this topic at this point.
But I think it's done. I hope it's done.
I think it is.
I think it is,
I
but
don't think
look.
nothing is left.
So
I
if
don't
y'all don't know what we're talking about, we're doing a Gorilla Glue Girl update. I'm
Woman,
calling this topic
grown
Gorilla Glue
woman.
Gone.
Like Beyonce said, grown
Well,
woman.
yes, but I'm calling her. Well, I'm giving you the title. I'm no disrespect, but Tessica, I forget her last name,
Brown.
Brown, Tessica Brown. Um, her Gorilla Glue is now gone. The Gorilla Glue is gone. The hair is back,
Halle.
and we've got a conclusion to that story. But before we get to that, let's jump into some of the stuff that had happened previously since we last
Come on,
talked.
previously on.
So first of all, do you guys think that she has a case against Gorilla? And I don't even know if this is still
No,
happening, but okay, you don't think
no,
so, and why not?
no.
Because
Because
basically
bitch,
she
you
was
can't read.
suing Gorilla Glue, so I'm just letting the viewers know. Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Now, wait. Now, I will say she got on the internet and said that was a lie. That she would never said that she was gonna sue them people. The folks just
Oh,
ran
okay.
with it.
Okay.
Now I will
Okay.
say that.
I
Okay.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I take that back, man. But no, okay. So I did see a little clip of a video with her the other day where she was. I didn't watch all of it because I'm over it. But she was pretty much like, I was at home. I think we talked about this a little bit before. You know, she ran out of the got to be glue. Her oldest son was in her car. She was like, I got this spray. It probably won't be as bad. I gotta put this on real quick and then like wash it out when I get home. And she only came to the internet because she just needed some help. She didn't know what else to do. I, but girl, you can't read though. Like I get that when you want a quick fix, what's this? Nothing on that bottle said this should be anywhere near your hair, your skin, your eyes. Like, and it says that don't put it near your skin and your eyes. Like, Why'd you think your hair was okay?
I wish I had bought that Gorilla Glue that I saw so I could show y'all the bottle.
But we've seen that big
Exhibit A.
ass warning of what it's like wood, metal, and like, girl, nowhere on there is your hair on there.
So she also raised a lot of money on a GoFundMe.
Some fools. Because we was in the whole panty draws. Like, I just need to start me GoFundMe on some dumb shit. Like, I got bills. I got debt.
Look, I mean, I think we were all envious to see how much money she raised for that. Yeah.
Listen, can I Gorilla Glue a hat to my head or something? Like, bruh.
I don't think they're gonna be as generous the second time around because we already saw it play out. So you got to do something else dumb. You probably gotta give it a few weeks. Let us forget about her, and then like, okay.
Yeah. But you know, she also has merch, and she also has a manager now. Now, when I saw that the money that she raised over $21,000, she is now donating that to like a plastic
hair restoration
or
organization or something.
Organization. Yeah. So I mean, I think that's a good move.
It's a good cause.
But then when I see that she has merch and a manager, I'm like, okay, so maybe the manager was like, hey, you got to do something here. I don't know. I mean, was that? I mean, because I don't know that was the original cause of raising a GoFundMe, but maybe I don't know. Was it for hospital bills?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was for free, or the hospital bills in her city where
she was. Yeah, she was raising the money for the hospital bills because it's only like $1,000 some at first, but people gave way more than that. And then when she actually did get it happen, because it was, I don't remember if he was black or just or African. But anyway, the doctor did it for
free. Right.
Got you. Yeah. I guess I'm not mad at the manager thing because I do appreciate people in these times understanding I'm a meme, I'm a moment. Let me capitalize on that, whatever that is. Like we saw where the money resides. He like trademarked it. He got merch out. He's been booked and busy. We still, doing club appearances, but that's neither here nor there. You're getting your money. So it's like, I understand her doing that to make, this could be a come up for her, great, but this is a come up for something stupid.
But I will say a lot of people had come up on something stupid.
I mean, fair.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is I don't really blame her completely for doing. I don't blame her completely for kind of making whatever out of lemonade, or out of lemons, making lemonade out of lemons, basically. It's kind of like a weird situation because I don't know. It just like, cause originally when I was talking about this last week, it just seemed like the tone was very half play, half serious. And I was like, which way are we gonna go with this? I mean, I'm saying coming from her. Now, really, my biggest criticism was really of Twitter doing their thing, like flip-flopping, like doing a complete 180. That was really where the basis of my criticism was. And on top of her initially doing something that was kind of stupid to her hair. But afterwards, like, if you got to make some money off of it, okay. But now my question is, now that this is over, now that she got the glue out of her hair and this is over, like, where do we go from here? Like, how does she keep this thing going, or how does she remain relevant after this? Because it seems like if you have merch, if you have a manager, it seems like that's gonna be
the next step. Yeah, the plan.
Trying to make a brand out of this, and I'm like trying to figure out how exactly does that happen. Do you guys have any idea?
No. Well, so real quick, because the comments, they said she's like might be functioning illiterate. She's not illiterate because she's actually a teacher, so that is correct. That did come out. But I don't know, because this is weird, because like I just go back to the most recent example where the money resides. He's like openly embracing that, and that's a catchphrase that is caught on and slashed, and that's great. But for her, she's like, she wants to deny being called Gorilla Glue Girl. She wants y'all to know her real name, Tessica Brown, and that most people are not going to just know that name that doesn't have like a catchy ring to it or whatever. So I don't know what you're going to do if you want to like separate yourself from what got you famous. Then I don't think you can sustain the fame.
Right.
You know.
Right. Marcus, any thoughts on that? You say you have no clue.
Not the focus. I mean, because some people were trying to get her to kind of like, oh, focus in on the, make this a bag, steal some hair products, and people like, who's
I'm not
gonna
buying nothing,
buy
bro.
hair products from Sister Put? Come on. So I don't know how you could possibly turn this to a positive. I appreciate and I can respect her trying, but that is something for some marketing experts to figure out. That is not my ministry. That is not my lane.
To be honest, you probably should have kept that 20K and try to flip that. But I
Honestly,
appreciate you donating. That's cute.
but I get it. But I get it because she was going to be dragged for the rest of the time if she didn't do something
Well, I
beneficial.
got a bag of y'all
Well,
didn't.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know if she would be dragged if she didn't do it. I mean, I feel like it does more for her that she donated brand wise, but the people gave her the money and she
Yeah.
she lucked out with finding a doctor who would just do it for free. Um, but she could have kept it, I think, if she could have quietly kept it. And
Absolutely.
but the thing is, you got to be quiet about it. That's the thing.
Yeah, but I can't fault her for. I mean, I can be mad at her for making a GoFundMe, but I can't fault her for like exceeding, like 1,000 times over what she originally wanted. Like you wanted 1,500 and you got over 20K. I can't be mad at her for that.
Yeah,
That's big.
I do think in my crazy imagination, she has to create some kind of drama out of this, right? So this is what I'm thinking.
kind of
She has to
drama?
have a
Spark-
villain. She has to cast like a villain hairdresser who sprays Gorilla Glue.
She's gonna make bad hair part 2.
But
That's
bad
what
hair was
has to
already bad.
happen. She needs to
So,
be like, she needs to have like, part 2 in order to make this like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, people are just gonna forget about it.
No,
But
but
what
you
if she?
know what though? Honestly, truthfully, I would probably watch that. I would probably watch that just to see what happens.
Well, look, Tessica Brown, I'm giving you the storyline, so just roll with it if you need to, girl. Because
But there was some. I think we touched on this a little bit last week. There was some conversation about like she did all this. We should be understanding because black women in their hair, it's important and it's very cultural, and she has to look right. And I was like, I hear you, and I get all that, but this wasn't what you should have used. Like I could give you that example or that reasoning for like probably anything else, like not Gorilla Glue. Like,
and I get it. I think I'm kind of with you on that. But I get this. I get the sympathy and I get the stupidity. So I think, like we said last time, it's a bit of both. Personally, that's just kind of how I see it.
but amen. Her hair was still intact. I'm surprised she had all the hair under there. Amen.
Honestly, I'm surprised they were able to salvage that much.
Right.
Hello.
Right. So I'm looking at these chats. They were kind of going in a little bit. Connected says she should have taken the 20,000 to Vegas and doubled it.
Listen.
Who said she can gamble? Then she went there and lost
She
it.
might have lost it for real. Let me see. Focus is saying I'm a little more lenient on making the GFM 2. What is GFM?
GoFundMe.
Oh, okay.
Praise God.
A
teacher.
I've been to the ER before that. It ain't cheap. So yeah, I hear that. All right. So yeah. So now I did talk to our guest host. She's having a internet outage in her neighborhood.
Oh, no.
Perfect timing.
Oh.
So she can. I just told her, she can come back and join us when she gets back up and running. And if not, we'll do like a little Instagram live or something. So we'll make sure that we get a conversation at some point. But I do want to move on to our last topic here that we have. I think this one's going to be interesting. I'm calling this "How many likes does it take?" So let me share.
I'm sorry.
That's hilarious.
That's like
So
one
let
of my
me share
favorite
this
songs.
tweet.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so here we go. If you're in a relationship and you're leaving comments like drooly face, heart face under other men's pics and liking 20 of their pics in a row, it's cyber cheating. Call it for what it is.
Right.
So, guys, how are you feeling about that? Brandon, let's start with you. I feel like you have some thoughts.
Wow, I do. I don't think it's cyber cheating. I think it's a little disrespectful, a little to me, it would bother me. I would be uncomfortable with it if my man was like drooly face and hard eyes and I guess but also the liking 20 pictures in a row. Normally if you like a bunch of pictures in a row, you're trying to get attention. But you want them to DM you before you DM them. So it doesn't look like you really started it. So yeah, that's definitely moving sideways. But I wouldn't say it's cheating. I feel like it's it can lead to or it can get to a point of like further beyond just an emoji or liking of pictures, whatever else. But also, I think we got to remember that some people's relationships are more open, and not necessarily just because they are open, but just are more understanding or allow certain things. So it depends on what you two or three or five or whatever have agreed upon, what works for y'all.
Yeah. Really?
All right. Okay. So I hear you. I think what we're talking about is a monogamous relationship.
You can be monogamous with 3, 4 people.
Okay. But it's.
But I got it. Okay, so two
That's
people
not what this dude was
together.
talking about, though. That's all I'm saying.
So two people in a monogamous relationship. I got you. Is this cheating? To me, no. Will it get you cussed out? Yes.
I think it's cheating, personally. I mean, I don't know how you feel, Marcus. I feel like Marcus and Brandon are kind of on the same page. We'll come to you, Marcus, because I see your face.
Explain. So how's this cheating to you then?
Because okay, so it's one thing to go through your Instagram feed and just like a few pictures of different people. It's another thing to go to one person's Instagram feed, one person's profile, and like a bunch of their pictures and leave a bunch of comments under their pictures. That's what I think is the issue. And that to me is cheating. That to me is like leaving the door open, like, hey, DM me or something because I'm interested. You know what I'm saying?
Is it? Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, if you're in a relationship, that's really not appropriate.
I get that's not appropriate, but is the liking and the comments itself, is that cheating or is it what it can lead to the cheating part?
I mean, like if you're out flirting with people, is that not cheating? I mean, like if you're out with the boys, or you know, if you're let's talk about it in the heterosexual sense, because for us, we're always out with the boys. But like if you're out and you're not with your significant other, you're out with your friends, and you know you're just talking to random people, and you're flirting with them. Is that not cheating, or is it only cheating when you start kissing or when you start having sex? I feel like it is cheating when you're kind of putting feelers out there. Okay, so I want to come to Marcus in a minute. Well, go ahead. Finish your thought, and then we'll go to Marcus.
We can go to Marcus first.
What else was I saying? Okay, so I don't know how I read this at first, but for whatever reason, I did not see the comment part, like the smiley face and stuff on people's pictures, because I was fully ready to be like, well, no, because I know plenty of people in relationships that like other dudes' pictures. Like that's almost normal. But I do think that when you get to where you commenting on people's pictures and stuff, like that's kind of pushing it. I'm not gonna call it straight up cheating, because for me, it's not cheating until there's an action, until there's like physical action. You making out, you fucking, you doing something. But it's too close for comfort for me that you leaving comments on the people pictures, because to me that says that you're fishing for a response. So I'm like, I wouldn't like it. I wouldn't go so far as to call it cheating, but I wouldn't like it. And
Yeah.
then if you continue to do things that I don't like, then we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, because I think the commenting in and of itself is not cheating. I think, but it still is inappropriate. I think it absolutely leads the door too. Like even the going out and flirting. I don't. Men are flirts, and I'm not excusing it. I just understand how men are. So like some of it is defeating ego. Some of it is because you're bored. Some of it's because you got a few drinks. I don't think there's anything wrong with like a like you can harmlessly flirt and not want to do more. You get what
I
I'm saying?
mean,
Yeah,
so my thing is
yeah.
like it's a difference when you kind of do like a little wink to the waiter at the table when you're with your significant other,
Okay,
and
now
then
that's
that's it.
different. Now you said he was out with the boys. Now
Well,
see,
I'm
now I
just
gotta cut you
saying,
in there,
like, I'm
bitch.
just trying to compare like the situations because it's different than just like one flirt or like continuous flirting. Because I feel like when you're doing all that, you are stepping away from your relationship for a moment to try to pursue something with somebody else. Whether and I don't know, that's just me.
So
I feel like it counts as cyber cheating. That's just
okay, so you're in a relationship and you find somebody else attractive. It's just you just leave it there. You just look at them and then keep it pushing.
if I'm in a relationship and I find somebody attractive, do I just keep it
Yeah,
pushing?
I'm saying you just notice they're attractive and then that's it. Like nothing else. Like no.
I
Nothing.
mean, I do that all the time already.
But no. You got to be. I'm gonna say it's got to be in a relationship because that's the only way you can get to the cheating aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I were in a relationship and somebody flirt, because first of all, I have not been in that situation. Um, but if I were in a relationship and I guess somebody came up to me and was kind of flirting or whatever, maybe I'd entertain it for a second, but
So you cheated for a second.
just
Okay?
to kind of appease it.
So you cheated for
But
a
I'm
second. That's
not,
still
I,
cheating.
huh?
But by
So
your
you cheated
life,
by your definition. You
No, that's
cheated.
that's a little bit different because that's like,
how? How?
look,
Because you
because
didn't start it?
because
No, they
online
don't.
is different because I feel like even if somebody jumped into your DM.
How is all that different from in person?
Okay, so look, this is how it's different because if somebody jumps in your DMs, you have the opportunity to just not respond at all. If you're in
You can do
person,
that in
it's a little
person.
bit harder to just be rude
Nah.
or like, it's like, oh, haha, okay. And then you keep it moving when you're in person. You hear what I'm saying? I want to go to the chat because I feel
But I don't
like,
think well, ha 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 okay. But ha 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 okay is
Don't
not
deflect. Don't
but that's
deflect.
but ha 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 okay is not entertaining it to me. That's like a brush off.
Hmm.
So I thought you meant like you were actually flirting back. Okay. I don't know.
no,
I guess
well, yeah, that's what I meant.
but okay, so to me though, cheating is anything that you like you cannot tell your partner about. To me. So that's why I feel like the out and out because it's still a public forum. So if you're
Well,
leaving
I
a
mean,
comment,
are you telling your partner that, hey, I just liked 20 pictures of so and so,
no,
or
and I said
like
that was
showing your phone?
disrespectful, but I don't think it's cheating. It's a fine line. It's right there. We right there on it, but it's
All right, y'all. Let me go to these comments because they have a lot of interesting things to say, and I don't want to leave that out of this conversation. So Connected is saying context matters. If you're in a group and you give someone a compliment, that is one thing. You cross the line when you move into flirting and or touching. Ty McKinney's saying, I think it opens the door to cheating, in my opinion. Um, Mama Shay, I'm trying to see what comment she had here because there was one. She said that the tweet was conflating disrespect with cheating. Um, so she kind of agrees with you guys. I don't know. I think I might be the only one who is really feeling like I feel like it's cheating. Don't do it. It's cheating. Don't do it. It's like it's not there's no disrespect slash cheating. It's cheating. Don't do that. So that's just how
so
I feel. Y'all
cheating
not
to
gonna
you
hit me
is
up. For that.
no. I'm saying so cheating to you is entertaining anybody that is not you.
It's yeah,
Okay.
basically. If you're going after somebody, and I feel like if you're going to a profile, liking 20 pictures and leaving multiple comments, that's pursuing somebody. If you're pursuing somebody, that's cheating.
Okay. I understand that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. But yeah, maybe we can have a little more spirited conversation about this in the after show. Because I see I'm on the outside of the hosts and the viewers and everybody. So I want somebody else who's watching this on the
But no,
replay
but
to
I'm
give me a thumbs up
but
if y'all hear what I'm saying.
but at least but you do agree that with the person who tweeted it. So I mean, and people retweeted it. So you're not alone. There are people who agree with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that's everything that we have for y'all today. So I do want you guys to join us on the Patreon, join us in the Discord chat, the new Discord chat that we've set up. Watch us on Splitting the Bill as well. I'm Jarrod D. King. I'm here with Brandon Harris Williams and Marcus Haynes. I'm going to put our social media up on the screen. We also had Andrea Mandovi up here with us as well. I'll put her up on the screen. Hopefully, we can get a conversation with her at a later date, but you can follow her there as well at Andrea Mandovi. And I believe it's time for our toast, everyone. Raise a glass.
Sorry, I'm jotting notes for the after show. My bad.
Oh, it's going to be a good one.
Oh my goodness. Lord, I need more liquor.
No, you got work to do.
Oh, man. All right. So until next time, be careful what you say because the boys will brunch. Take care.
Did you refill this tweet,
Me or him?
No,
Jarrod? Oh, okay. Look.
not yet. Anyway.